Hey, what's up, guys? This is Pietro Saravalli, and we're going to go ahead and review WWE's Night of Champions. And I really don't know what to tell you. Which should have been called SummerSlam rematch, actually. This was held on September 20th, 2015. This was located at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. So let's go ahead and, before I go into my deep analysis, let's just go ahead and run down this card real quick. Okay. Uh, Real quick, the very first show, the very first match, excuse me, was the Intercontinental Champion Ryback against Kevin Owens. Um, Kevin Owens earlier this year feuding with John Cena. Um, he had that match of the year where he won by via pinfall, clean. Obviously, was non-title. It's kind of funny, like you saw that coming. You know, Cena will let you win the battles, but he'll ultimately win the war. Why not put the guy over, John? You got a great guy, Kevin Owens, Canadian wrestler, solid. Why not put the guy over? Help the WWE make some stars. Stop worrying about you losing your spot. You've had your spot. You've had it for a good 10 years, going on 11. So, John, you win the next two, which you immediately just squash Kevin Owens. So, pretty much, Kevin Owens had to win against Ryback. Ryback, his Intercontinental title held was not very good. I mean, he can't cut a promo. Why not have this guy like Goldberg? Why not just have him just have just a little bit of mystique to him, not say anything like Goldberg did? He's as big as Goldberg. He's probably bigger than Goldberg. He's probably stronger than Goldberg. He can't talk like Goldberg. He could probably do a jackhammer and spear like Goldberg. Why not do that? Why are you having him cut promos about his adversity struggles? I can understand the very first one where you're talking about how you had to go through adversity and then the fans kind of jumped on and feed me more and they're getting into you and you're getting a reaction. Then you went to it again? Much to Ryback's dismay, he wasn't really booked properly either. I mean, you had Big Show and The Miz trying to help elevate Ryback's Intercontinental title run. It was horrible. So obviously for Kevin Owens, you lose to Cena, no U.S. title. What would happen if you lost to Ryback and no IC title? What do you do with Kevin Owens after that? You become a Damian Sandow or Zack Ryder, and you are in Jobberville land. Kevin Owens had to win. He ended up winning, and he is the new Intercontinental Champion. We'll see what he does with the IC Championship. I'm sure he'll be a better champion than Ryback will. He does need a manager. He does need a manager. Please give him a manager. Um, Another person that needs a manager. We'll get to our next match. Dolph Ziggler going up against Rusev. Now, I don't know if they're teasing this mixed tag team match, but we should have had it already. Um, in my analysis, Dolph Ziggler is very lost. You were a heel with Vicky Guerrero, and yeah, that got a little bit of heat. Then you dyed your hair as a brunette, dark hair. Then you quickly went back to blonde, and then you had this stupid storyline with John Cena. Then you align yourself with Big E and AJ Lee. You had your moment. You had a great pop in New Jersey. You win your title. You got injured. You lost the title. I mean, I actually thought we were going to get a double switch. I thought Dolph was going to be a face. Rusev was going to be, excuse me, Dolph was going to be a heel. Rusev was going to be a face. So I don't know what they're going to do with Dolph. Aligning yourself with Summer Rae, man, you have somebody that looks like Kurt Hennig. You have $1 million face, $1 million body. You can wrestle. You can't cut a promo. That's okay. You need a manager. I mean, could you imagine Bobby the Brain Heenan be around right now? Be awesome. Whatever happened to the managers, by the way? There's nobody, no managers, no valets. Not like he used to, but Dolph Ziggler in need of a manager just needs to sit there like Ryback, just chew his gum and just have somebody talk for him, like Brock. Have like somebody like Brock, Paul Heyman talk for you. So I'm not too impressed with Summer Rae's mic skills, so I'm not sure if she's going to be able to elevate Dolph. So if Dolph is flirting with Summer Rae, excuse me, so that does that mean Rusev is getting back with Lana, like Macho Man is finally reuniting with Elizabeth? It just doesn't make any sense, and I'm just hoping that this angle will finally finish because it's just really bad, and you and I both know Rusev should be the Money in the Bank briefcase holder. So that is that. Lana's still recovering from an injury. We'll see what happens after that. Next match, Dudley Boys went up against the New Day. New Day came out saying "Save the tables." Um, that was pretty funny. Kofi again in my top five as the worst talkers in WWE. I'm glad that he finally found something that he could get over. You know, Big E over. He was over with AJ Lee. So these guys are having fun. It's almost like Triple H and Stephanie said, let's go out and make these guys do this ridiculous crap and let's just laugh at them in the back because we want something to laugh at. Well, what these guys did was they're in their late 20s, I want to say, maybe early 30s, but definitely I want to guess late 20s. And they're acting like they're 15 again. And they're getting paid for it. You got a guy that's playing a trumpet out there. So obviously you knew the New Day was going to win. They just won back the Tag Team Championship last month at SummerSlam from the Primetime Players. Why would you have them lose to the Dudley Boys? The Dudley Boys have won the titles, what, 9 or 10 times? 35 times? So why would you have the Dudley Boys win the titles? Nobody in their right mind actually thought that the Dudleys, excuse me, that the Dudleys were going to win the tag team titles. If he did, um, get help, but that wasn't going to happen. You got a new team, they're young, new faction, they're annoying heels, they get over from the crowd, they're getting a reaction. Let's make both parties happy. Let's keep the belts on the New Day, but let's give the Dudley Boys a win by DQ. Both parties are happy, so that is that. The next match was Charlotte challenging Nikki Bella for the Divas Championship. I'm going to spend about 5 seconds with this because I really don't care. Uh, AJ Lee, wife of CM Punk, quits. AJ Lee is the longest reigning Divas champion. WWE is very mad that AJ Lee quit. So because out of spite, because WWE is that petty, they say, Nikki, you're going to hold this title and you're going to surpass AJ Lee as the longest reigning Divas champion, and she did, which was last Monday. So not this past Monday, but last Monday. After that, after she surpassed AJ, they probably just said, get this belt off her now. Charlotte wins, um, and thank God. So, giving some type of credibility to the Divas Revolution because the Bellas are a joke and they probably can't even make cereal. But when you are dating John Cena and when the other one is dating Daniel Bryan, what does that mean? Power, stroke. John Cena is the face. He has more power than you think, and he does a heck of a lot of politicking in the back. Now, yeah, he does grant a lot of wishes and all that stuff too, but he does a lot of backstage politics, just like Austin, just like Hogan. So, John Cena, hey, let my girl keep winning, you know. So it'll be interesting to see if Nikki Bella regains the title. We'll see what happens, but I'm glad Charlotte won. The daughter of Ric Flair, that's got to be tough too. I mean, she's a great wrestler, but you're the daughter of a legend, Nature Boy Ric Flair. You're the daughter of the 16-time world champion. It's hard to get the respect of your coworkers because they're probably saying, "Well, your dad's Ric Flair, so that's why you're getting a push, and that's why you made it in this business." That's tough. Now you got to get the respect. And WWE, much like corporate America as well, they love hope stories. WWE loves that. They love to have a guy lose for like a year and a half, all of a sudden revamp his character, and for him to finally win, and it's a big hope story. It's just human nature. I mean, we all like to see somebody get a second chance, and we all like to see somebody struggle for a long time, and then we like to see them finally get over that hump. Well, that's not happen. That's not that didn't happen with Charlotte. So we'll see what happens. But Charlotte is the new champion. God bless her. And as soon as we get the Bellas out of the Diva Revolution, I will actually start believing in the Divas Revolution. But as long as you have two Lottie Dods in there that can't even make a bowl of cereal, eh, I'm just not going to care. Next match was the most disappointing match of the night. You had the Wyatt family, Bray, Luke, and Braun Strowman against Dean Ambrose. You had Roman Reigns and a mystery partner. Now, a long time, you had people, for weeks, you had people thinking, yeah, Seth Rollins is going to come in and reunite with the Shield and take on these guys. Well, that makes no sense. That would make no sense at all. Another rumor I heard was, well, Kane is going to come back. Kane is in the Authority storyline. Leave him there. That's the most important storyline in WWE. Why would you take him in this little storyline that's just a cut above mid card? That wouldn't make any sense at all either. Why not have somebody like Samoa Joe? Could you imagine Samoa Joe as the mystery partner? That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. Or somebody from NXT because you're in dying need of star power right now, like a Finn Balor or Corbin. I've just now started to watch it a little bit because I know a lot of people say NXT is this and that. To me, it's just a bunch of matches. They're good matches. Don't get me wrong. They're just a bunch of matches. Like for me, I like storylines. I like angles. We're not getting that. We're getting maybe a few, but I remember back in the day, I watched WWF Superstars, and I had more entertainment out of watching that 1 hour show of just a bunch of squash matches than watching today's Monday Night Raw. So, long story short, the mystery partner ended up being 95-year-old Chris Jericho. I don't, I don't get it. If you're Bray, okay, and you got another idiot next to you, Luke Harper, and then you bring in this 6'8", 32-year-old, uh, he's at least 300 pounds. Easy. You're 6'8", you're at least 300 pounds. Um, just strong man, let's just say. I mean, he's a U.S. He played for he won the NAS U.S. Amateur National Championship back in 11. I mean, he's an animal. He's an animal. Um, wouldn't you recruit somebody a little bigger than Chris Jericho? What is a 95-year-old washed up Chris Jericho gonna do? Wouldn't you get somebody bigger? Still, you're probably saying, well, that's why we're thinking Kane. Well, no, I get that, but leave Kane alone. He's in a great authority storyline. Leave him alone. Just somebody that's more, I guess, with a rougher exterior, maybe just bigger. Whatever the case was, Chris Jericho was the mystery partner. He ended up losing the match for Dean and Roman. And then as Chris Jericho left the ring, he like shoved. He didn't shove, but he walked past Dean and kind of gave him a little bump. So I thought that was interesting. Um, so we'll see what happens after that. Don't care. Really don't care. After that, you had I guess you could say double main event because John Cena's in it. You had the U.S. Heavyweight Champion and WWE Champion Seth Rollins put up his U.S. title on the line against John Cena. John Cena wins back the U.S. Championship. I'm not sure why you made him lose a month ago in the first place. I don't get it. Um, it doesn't look like the Cena monster will ever slow down. You have Cena beat Rollins on Raw by submission. You made your world champion tap out to the U.S. champion. Then at SummerSlam, you had the most ridiculous finish I had ever seen. You had Jon Stewart hit Cena in the stomach, and Seth Rollins pinned him to win both titles. And then you make Rollins lose it a month later? Why did you have Cena lose it in the first place? Why didn't you just have at SummerSlam? Why didn't you just have it as Seth Rollins title only on the line? I don't get why. Okay, well, Cena did lose, but he does grant 1,000 wishes, and he does sell merchandise. So we gotta have this guy win. He's suffered enough adversity. I don't get it. Like the WWE loves Cena, and you know what? Sorry to say, folks, but He sells out arenas. He's good on the microphone. Um, he pushes a lot of merchandise. He grants wishes. He's going to be there for a long time. Long time. Let's look at the positives, though, if you're a Cena hater. Okay? Because I am. Raise your hand if you're a Cena hater. Okay. Um, the positive, I'm going to look at this as, okay, John, you win your U.S. title back because that way it'll delay you from moving up to the main event and winning that championship for the sixth time and then surpassing Nature Boy. Now, don't get me wrong, that is going to happen. Don't think it won't, it will. WWE already knows that they want to make John Cena the greatest superstar of all time. Even greater than Hulk Hogan, even greater than Stone Cold, even greater than The Rock, even greater than Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. They're going to make John Cena the greatest of all time. So that's cool. You can stay mid card, John. Just hold that belt for another year if you could. Um, I don't want to see it happen, but it is evident, and that is going to happen. You can't really delay the inevitable, but that will happen. His time is imminent for sure. Well, then you get to the last match of the night. Seth Rollins. Um, so Seth loses to Cena. Immediately has to defend his now WWE Championship to Sting. So we didn't really know going into this if Seth was going to fight back-to-back matches. So this was pretty cool. Uh, good match by Sting. Really good match. You had, Sting's 56 years old. Seth Rollins, I mean, he's in his 20s. He's 29 years old. So you almost have 30 years on this man. So pretty good match by Sting. I was very impressed. I'm very confused. I don't understand why a guy that's almost 60 years old. So you got a guy that's almost 30 versus a guy that's almost 60. And you're making Sting take turnbuckle bombs. You made a 60-year-old take a turnbuckle bomb twice? I'm just dumbfounded, bamboozled, baffled. I don't get it. After the second one, you notice that the doctors and WWE officials were coming in the ring and asking him, are you okay? You all right? Obviously, Sting didn't want to be a wuss, so he probably just said, hey, I'm hurt, but let me just finish off this match. Sting puts him in the Scorpion Deathlock, excuse me. Rollins rolls him up, and you got the win. It was like 30 seconds later. You knew he was injured for sure. Sting has suffered a what do you call it? A spinal cord injury. Pretty much whatever happened to Edge, the exact same thing that happened to Edge is what Sting is suffering. So that's not good. That is not good. It's called a spinal stenosis. It's what ended Edge's in-ring career, and Edge is 15 years younger. Edge is 41 years old. Sting's 56. That ended Edge's career. Now, Edge will probably go on and say, "Yeah, I want to wrestle. I want to wrestle," but the WWE would not clear him. And still to this day, they don't want Edge to do anything physical. Um, so Sting is, it's so sad because somewhere during the card, you announced that The Undertaker and Brock 3 was going to be at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. So we're trying to figure out who The Undertaker's opponent is at WrestleMania. You're thinking, well, it should be Brock. Let him beat Brock and let him just ride off into the sunset, and he'll win in his hometown in front of the largest crowd of all time, have him get his revenge on this rubber match, call it a day. Well, now that I think about it, when you do like sequels and then when you do trilogies and all that, you're not going to get good ratings. People are like, been there, done that. And then after you pulled that crap about your rematch and that finish, part three was destined to not be at WrestleMania. So you're thinking, well, hey, look, you're thinking throughout the night as you're watching Night of Champions, okay, cool. So you got Brock, Taker, 3, next month's pay per view. So that means Taker Sting WrestleMania, right? I bet they regret it now. I bet they regret it now because now you got a hurt Sting. Career threatening injury. Again, like I said before, a man that was 15 years younger than Sting was forced to retire with the same thing that Sting is going through now. So, what are they going to do with Taker? Uh, no idea. No idea. They should do Taker Sting or Taker Cena. That's what they should do, and they should do Brock Rock. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Austin will be the referee and actually finally referee a good match because he was refereeing against Goldberg and Brock, worst match of all time, and Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler, worst match of all time. So maybe Austin can referee Brock Rock and actually referee a good match. Um, so, so following the end of Sting and Seth, Sheamus comes out. He got a little bit of heat, got a little bit of a reaction. We thought he was going to cash it in. All of a sudden, Big Red Machine comes back. We all know what happened. Brock injured Kane, and then Seth added insult to injury and stomped on Kane as well. So now you're going to have Seth Rollins feud with Kane? They're just doing this because I'm pretty sure that the WWE wants Seth to hold on to the title till WrestleMania. You're just looking for ways to help get him there and help stall him to get there. If anybody in TV land actually thinks that Kane has a chance of winning that title, you're nuts. You're nuts. Kane will not win that title. It's going to be another controversial finish. Just ways to get him to the next pay-per-view, to get him to the Royal Rumble, to get him to WrestleMania. Rollins should hold the title to WrestleMania anyways. I would have put a better opponent than Kane, but whatever, it's the WWE's creative writing. So, so far, this pay-per-view, I'd probably give it a C. I mean, very predictable, and it should have been called the SummerSlam rematch. So, we'll see what the WWE has waiting for the next pay-per-view as well. But other than that, hopefully Sting is okay. Hopefully he can wrestle again, and hopefully the WWE will be smarter than having a 60-year-old man take turnbuckle bombs.